back to my channel. It's Raina here. So I'm giving you guys a story time today. Don't mind my eating. I don't want my food to get cold. So today is a story time about when I was going to Jordan. I was approached by an escort. So that is what I'm going to share with you guys, because that was an interesting experience. Like, very different. I've never been approached by an escort before. I've seen escorts on movies, but never had that happen in person. So when I was going to Jordan for my birthday, as you guys know, in February, I had 2 layovers. So from Philly to Newark, and then Newark to DC, and then DC to Amman. Yeah, so yeah, I had 2 layovers. So yeah, so when I was waiting for my next flight from Newark to DC, I'm sitting at the airport minding my business, and there are like other seats around, but like I had like a couple bags, like my carry-on in one seat and like my food in another seat, because there were other seats around. Like, but this lady, she walks up to me and she asked to sit next to me. I was a little skeptical because I'm like, there are other seats, but me being nice, I just moved my stuff. Like, so I'm like, you know, sitting there, you know, and I could tell she wanted to spark up conversation. So her baggage beat her to her destination. Her luggage beat her to her destination, and her flight was delayed, and it was costing her to miss out on money. That's what she said. She says, it's costing me to miss out on money. Like, you know, I travel for work. Like, this is costing me money. Like, da-da-da. So I'm like, okay, well, let's check the app or check the website and see, you know, what's going on with your luggage and what's going on with your flight. So we're like looking on it or whatever, and I'm like trying to help her. And then I'm like, you know, so, you know, my curiosity gets the best of me. So I was like, what do you do? And she's like, oh, she whispered, she's like, I'm an escort. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, I'm not gonna judge. I'm like, oh wow, okay. So she's like, starts telling me about it, and she's like showing me pictures in her phone of like stacks of money, like, and I'm just like, oh wow, like, that's really cool. So she basically was like, oh, I don't usually show people this or tell people this, but she's like, you know, if I think you have potential, like, I'll definitely, like, you know, say something. And I think you have potential, like, the guys would really like you, like, my clients would really, like, you know, the clients would really like you, basically. And she's like, I've been a stripper before, but I've been doing this for like the past 2 years. And she's like, yeah, like, I like doing it, I get to travel and everything. She's like, I don't exactly have a pimp, it's more like a master of masters or something like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. And she's like, yeah, they would really love you, like, you know, you're slim and beautiful, da 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 da. Okay. And she, you know, she was dressed up. She had like a little fur and like some designer and everything, you know, she was dressed up. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm like asking her questions, because I'm like, okay, like, I've never had this happen to me, so I was definitely a little curious. Like, so she's like, oh, like, she wouldn't tell me certain things, she wouldn't disclose certain information, you know. She's like, but she would tell me, you know, enough. She did tell me enough. And I'm just like, okay, like, wow. So I did end up asking her, like, you know, like, do you sleep with them? Like, she's like, oh, like 75% of the time I don't. I just go out with them, just a companion, but 25% of the time I do. And I'm like, okay. And she like gets my number down, and she's like, yeah, like, if you ever, like, you know, want to join, just think about it and let me know. She's like, there's no pressure. Like, Because, like, I know it could be, like, a big drastic change. Like, you know, I was skeptical at first myself. And I'm like, I'm listening, and I'm like, okay. So she said she's gonna go get some wine or whatever from the bar at the airport. So I'm like, okay, so that just happened. I have never been approached by an escort before. So I'm like texting my friends, like, guess what just happened? Guess what just happened to me? And they're like, what? My one friend thought I was gonna join, and I'm like, no. I'm just telling you what happened. Like, no, I'm not joining. And my other friend is all freaking out. He's like, oh, like, you shouldn't, you should just be careful. That could be a tactic that they'll use to, like, try to kidnap you, like sex trafficking, da da da. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I wasn't gonna join, but he's like, block her, like, because they could, like, try to kidnap you, or who knows, like. I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't see her after that, like, and I was in an airport, crowded airport, so I'm like, it's not like she can take me anywhere, like, and plus we were going to different destinations, so, and she didn't really know any information about me because I didn't really disclose too much. So he's all, like, making me nervous, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay, but I appreciate your concern. So I'm just like, wow, I cannot believe that just happened to me. Like, what? Like, that's something you see on a movie. Like, why did that just happen to me? Why was I just approached by an escort? Someone said that's a compliment. They're like, oh yeah, that's a huge compliment. Like, I guess if you want to be optimistic about it, but I don't think I have the willpower to do that. Each their own. However you make your money is how you make your money. Because she definitely had some good money, And hey, I wish I could. I wish I could be a stripper, but it's just not in me. It's not in me. But I applaud. Shout out to all the strippers out there. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, if you do those things, like, kudos, like, do whatever makes you happy. But I can't, like, I don't have the guts. Nope. And I know, like, sometimes they, try to cope in other ways by doing things like that. Some people like doing that, Like, I get it. Like, it is good money. Like, it's fast money. But I definitely thought about it for a second, but I just can't. I can't. It's not in me. I'm gonna find other ways to make good money, though. Definitely. So, definitely, yeah. Stay tuned for my next video, guys, because I am going to be sharing my dream hotel. This unique hotel that I stayed in Jordan. It was just the most fantastic place ever. So stay tuned for that video, because that hotel, amazing. You're gonna want to see it. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.